There's got to be a way through here. Any luck finding Ventrinio and his big secret? And it looks like they're not far behind you. If you were anyone else, I'd try to stop you. As it is, I'll just wish you good luck. This can't end here.
Sometimes one soldier can do what an entire army cannot.
You haven't tried going in there, have you? No, of course you haven't. You're still alive. This took a little longer to find than I had hoped, but it should be exactly what you need. Dren had a twin in the Summer Court, Dith the Defender of Valor. They were both entirely immune to each other's power. She faded when the House of Valor fell, but my early experiments with the Well of Souls provided a quite useful little surprise. You see, when trying to draw life energy from the ether, I captured her essence and bound it into this charm. With this, you will be immune to Dren's power. It's not as powerful as it used to be, and it's specific to Dren, but it'll let you face him and live. Now, be fair. Fae don't have souls as mortals do. They're a form of magic with a physical form. And I only got a little of it anyway. Just enough for a certain degree of immunity to Dren's power. It only works for one person, but it'll be enough for you to reach him. Trouble is, he'll be immune to your power as well. But I'm sure you can think of something. With the essence of valor, you can withstand Dren's attacks. Stop being such a child and go face him. Now, go show that defender what a little magic can do.
Whatever you're planning, now is the time. Now I'm sure you have this well in hand. Good luck. You got into Alabastra once. You can do it again.
I don't know what you...
Turn back or die. Then you shall die like the others before you. I made an oath to protect my house and my homeland. No power short of death can keep me from fulfilling my duties. I know your intentions are to free my people from the Tuatha. You seem an honorable sort. You even bear the blessing of my sister. But I have sworn an oath to defend my house and homeland. I cannot let you in without a fight, and you cannot win against me. If only things could be different. If only the Tuatha were gone and my sister was back. Leave. Now. Enough. We could fight each other until the mountains wear away, but that will aid nothing. My sister and I were chosen to protect our kind. So long as our houses stood, the Fae would never pass from this world. I in pride, and she in valor. We never imagined that our houses could crumble beneath our feet. Mortals led to the collapse of my sister's house, but with Gadflow's help, they shall not have mine. He may taint pride with his Prismere and his obscene god, but it will keep us eternal. Before I knew the truth of Tuatha, I swore to keep my homeland safe from invaders. I could never have known what my people would become. Fae never change, and pride's honor never yields. I cannot yield, but if your true intent is to stop Gadflow, then perhaps there is a way my house and my honor could remain pure. If you would promise to spare the House of Pride, then we could put aside our powers and have an honest battle. Win, and your army may pass. I expected treachery from any friend of Sidon the Outcast, and I shall have no lies within my house.
Until one night, when nature changed its course, and Gadflow, like an errant...
You did it! You actually beat him! Guess I owe Ventrinio a drink. A promise is a promise, and the Witch Knights of Pride would be powerful allies to have on our side. I'll send a few soldiers along to help. Meanwhile, I'll get the other troops ready to move into Alabastra once that gate opens. The gate to Alabastra's still closed, and we can't open it without the House of Pride's help. Clean out the Tuatha inside, and we can move on. Get that gate open, and the army will be ready to go.
We can't lose. Halt! If you would be so kind as to have a word with us. I have been chosen by the remaining members of our house to speak for all. We were most honored by your intention to free us. We are in seclusion, so it's best to observe this situation without any unnecessary interference or risk to ourselves. I assure you, we will be more than happy to assist you in Alabastra. Simply carry forth and destroy Witch Knight Myrna, who has so commandeered our house. And her dreadful Prismere Chantry, of course. We are sure you'll have no problem finding her, or defeating her. We eagerly anticipate your success.
Well done, child of dust. You've killed the immortal defender and liberated a house full of arrogant backstabbers. I should thank you for exposing the disloyal amongst my kin. But then, I have so much to thank you for. Your bravado is nothing more than the mewling of an angry kitten. Each Tuatha you kill makes the rest of us stronger Each one feeds Tirnoch. The goddess of mercy awakens, and with every step you take into my homeland, she comes that much closer to walking our world and purging your kind. So welcome to Alabastra. It shall be the death of you once more.
We have seen our champion bested, our advantage lost, and our minds are cleared. Bravo to you, champion. House of Pride, in our ineffable wisdom, renounces the Tuatha and demands that you accept our immediate surrender. Your army is welcome here. We trust our benevolence will be well remembered should Gadflow be dethroned. We thank you kindly, and our mages have already been assisting your army in their march into Alabastra. We trust you do not object. Most excellently spoken. You have the commanding presence of a young Aegon, who once also bore the pleasure of our august company. Allow us to welcome you to Alabastra. We trust your visit will be eventful. Ranked of our house, and yet we have been chosen as the speaker for the Fae of Pride. To us falls the honor of acting as liaison to your mortal army. Your charming, well-bred, and simply lovely army. How Gadflow came to command such respect is beyond even our wisest. He was little more than a jester at the Winter Court. But he said he found the voice of Tirnoch, and she led him to power. And it seems he was correct. The Tuatha bred in our lands before we realized what change they truly represented. Certainly we all share a distaste for mortals, but few of us ever hunted them. Vengeance is such a sloppy, boorish house. Marvelous fighters, of course, but simply crude. They all feel that the world has wronged them somehow. And perhaps it did. How else would they end up in such a hateful house? Prince Sidon is a Fae of noble tradition. He would never raise a hand against the High King, just as he would never bow before the Tuatha. We've been gifted with so much. It's only proper that we are also immortal, so as to put our gifts to the most use. Conversely, poor children of dust have so little, but are given barely a moment to live. How kind the world is.
They'll never break it. At least, not what it looks like we're winning. Our real problem is that we can't march the army through Alabastra. Not in formation, at least. This will call for smaller groups. Alabastra is a maze of valleys. Gadflow's remaining faithful would spot an army moving together, and the valleys would be the death of us. But where an army would fail, the 5 of us can triumph. If we split up, we can travel faster and catch them unaware. We will at the House of Vengeance, on Gadflow's doorstep. From there, we strike at Bale, the heart of his empire. That's where we'll find Gadflow, and where we'll put an end to this whole war. I hope you're ready, this time. I'm sure you know more about it than I do. After all, you were here last. More than you'd think. But I promise I'll explain it all to you. Maybe once Gadflow's dead. I'll see you in Alabastra.
Hope you've got better luck this time, eh?
Welcome to Alabastra, hero. I'm no proper nature guide, but you see that wall up there, jutting beyond the height of that bridge? I heard a legend as a boy that said it's made of ice of pure winter, and it never melts. Beautiful, and a bit terrifying.
Praise Lyria! I thought you'd never arrive. Welcome to Camp Moondown. Are you with Captain Ancilla's company? The war is not what I expected. I missed the Battle of Melsenshir. Only action I've seen until now has been escorting healers and weaponsmiths. I'm no warrior. I'm an Alfar noble turned bodyguard. It took more deaths than I wish to admit to secure the pass between Chloricon and Alabastra. Now that it belongs to the Alfar, we intend to hold it. Moondown is the best position in the valley. If it falls, we fall with it. Even more self-absorbed than a knave of pride over there. Ancilla was ordered to bring his men to reinforce Moondown, but he hasn't come. His name is Corm, added to our outfit in Melsenshir after our previous healer was, I'll spare you the details. Anella Saf is one of ours, though she doesn't act like it. Her work makes up for her personality. We need soldiers, not heroes. Without help, we won't last long on this ridge. Still, any help is something. Will you lend a hand? Our commander and his Ariad rushed ahead to Shadow Pass, and the enemy moved in to divide us. Most of us left behind are dead, and the wounded might as well be. Each Tuatha attack is bigger, more brutal than the last. We need fresh sword arms, lots of them. Thank you. Without you, we could not... No! That's a Tuatha now! Come! Goodbye. Should give you a taste of what we've been up against. Tuatha see this camp as sacrilege. Thank you for your help. The tales of your courage are true. That I don't know. Fate has thrown so much hardship our way. Tuatha took our healer. The weaponsmith ran off. The mercenaries deserted us when the gold ran out. They're camped on the land bridge to the south, but they're not going anywhere while the Tuatha hold Shadow Pass. If you rescue Colm, our injured could fight again, and we might stand a chance. Raiders seized him 2 nights ago. It was dark, but I'm certain I saw them head to Glass Pillar Caves. Somewhere in the depths of Glass Pillar Caves, a cavern to the east, off the Cluricon Road. Trav pushed through it, along with Camp Moondown, without a look back. Once the Ariad surged ahead, Moondown was left vulnerable and Tuatha attacked our camp. Goodbye.
Hello, mortal. I am the Knave of Pride. Wait a moment. The hero of Melson Shear. Here to offer your services. You have impeccable timing. I have some Bulgans that need to be disposed of. I hear she has little experience, but I have better things to do than chat with or about those beneath me. I was sent to Camp Moondown to help assess the situation. There are greater things at stake. I'm just looking to move on by completing these menial tasks, or having someone complete them for me. They're everywhere. Big red faces. The stuff of nightmares. The Bulgan Masters use them as foot soldiers when they can. They compelled the Bulgan to fight. If you're in the mood, locate these Bulgan Masters. Shouldn't be too difficult for the hero of Melson Shear. Well, get to work then, hero. And come see me once you've thwarted the threat. They're a special breed of mage. Real nasty. The Bulgan Masters control the Bulgans. Hence the name. Not sure, but they're about. Always seem to turn up whenever we're desperately clinging to life. It's a lovely arrangement. Goodbye.
Good work out there today.
Get out of here! It's a trap! Gods, the hero of Melsenshir. I'm so sorry to have led you into that trap. I had no choice. They threatened to torture me. Forgive me. I've been wounded. Don't have the strength to care for myself. I was assigned to Captain Canwin to replace her previous healer. I was captured by the Tuatha and brought down here. She's more honorable than most. All Dogglefar lust for power, but she seems immune to its influence. No offense, of course. Camp was already set up when I arrived.
Bad as it was when I got there, it's worse now. They knew if they took someone important enough, rescue would come. Since Moondown hasn't broken yet, they figured drawing away the remaining soldiers would weaken Canwan's defenses. You're here, so I guess it was a good plan. If I'm going to get back to camp, I'll need a powerful healing potion. Do you happen to have one on you? Pity. If I still had my pack, I'd be right as rain. Or, I suppose you could make the potion yourself. Tuatha took it. I'm sure it's stashed nearby, but it'll need dispelling. A little precaution I take to deter filchers. Make it or find it, I don't care. Just get me a dose fast. Goodbye. At last, give it to me. If you could escort me to the exit, I'll meet you back at Camp Moondown. Goodbye. Good thing I had you as an escort. Thanks again. I'll meet you at Camp Moondown. Goodbye. Thanks for all your help. I have my reasons for fighting. Let's just say that the victors in this war will rule from an unassailable seat. The Dogglfar are ready to rule these lands, and if no one's paying attention, they'll seize it. Goodbye. Hello.
Colm is back? Great news! A healer will patch our wounds, but we'll need our weaponsmith too. I don't suppose you'd agree to help us again? Manella is a curious sort, impetuous, full of wild ideas, better suited to the Scholia Arcana than the army. She talked a lot about the Whispering Caves, so that's a good place to start. In the middle of all this, the fool goes on an expedition in Whispering Caves. Goodbye.
Hello.
Hey, you're the hero of Melsenshir. I've heard all about you. Private Eyeless Ilva at your service. Don't have much for supplies, but you're welcome to them. Yes, what's mine is yours. If I have something you need, you're welcome to. Legend has it that the walls are... Hi there, hero. Can I help? Yes, what's mine is yours. Legend has it that the wall surrounding Alabastra forms a perfect and natural spiral.
You have returned. No Bolgan tough enough to best the hero, eh? Ah, thank you, mortal. High Fulgen will be a bit safer now, thanks to you.
counting on the Tuatha guards to lead me to the staff once I got out of here. Now I'll have to consult the grimoire and retrace my steps. Thanks for nothing. I've devoted my life to becoming the greatest summoner since Arba. If we Dokkalfar are going to stay one step ahead of the humans, knowledge will be the difference. None could rival him, in life or death. His power was so great, even the gods feared him. With his staff, I shall be his rightful heir, the Summoner Supreme. She just wants her weaponsmith back. The captain doesn't realize I didn't enlist to sharpen swords. I joined so I could come here. It's a staff crafted by the brilliant Dokkalfar mage, Arba. According to his writings, he imbued it with great summoning powers in Prismeer. Come, I'll show you. Up ahead. I nearly determined its resting place when you blundered in here and killed the Tuatha guards. They guard the breath of Arba. Constantly under attack from the Tuatha, it's not very hospitable. Thank you, I suppose, for getting the staff back from those Tuatha. No point in keeping it for yourself. It'll only work for one such as me who can understand its whispers. Escort me to the exit where it is safe, and you can give me the staff there. I've got the staff. I want to stay as far away from Whispering Caves as possible. Surely the camp is fortunate to have my aid. Skilled weaponsmiths don't just land at one's feet. Well, apparently, they get recruited. Colm's a secretive one. Whatever his reasons for staying, he won't survive long without a healer. Goodbye.
Hello. You found the weaponsmith? Alive? I must admit I'm shocked. And she brings with her a powerful magic? Such aid is more than welcome. And well-timed. The Tuatha are on the move! It's refreshing to find a person who loves what they do so much. I heard he was promoted once, but then found a way to get demoted. Anyhow, Ilva's a good man, and merchant too. Feel free to ask him if you need to buy something. Goodbye.
Keep your eyes peeled. The hero of Melsenshire, as I live and breathe.
Hello. Thanks to you, we might actually live to see reinforcements arrive. I only hope our forces in Shadow Pass are faring as well. You could bring back the mercenaries. We hired them when reinforcements didn't come, but they've abandoned us. We'll need them if we are to hold a bit longer. Are you up to the task? We couldn't afford their fee anymore, simple as that. They meant to desert us, but didn't get far before the Tuatha pushed them back. They made camp up on the overlook. You'll have to deal with their leader, Gorham Kane. They have a temporary camp on the natural bridge to the south. They plan to depart Alabastra soon. A necessary evil. Run-of-the-mill mercenaries. None more than a step above criminals. The leader, Gorham Kane's a harsh man. Probably for good reason. Goodbye.
I don't need no more stragglers trying me for a penny. I've got nothing and wouldn't share it if I did. Damn parasites. High Fulgen's no place for the likes of you. I spent the first few years of the Crystal War as a soldier, but it didn't pay so well, so I fashioned a better deal. Damn me if you want, I'm alive, aren't I? Her persistence is honourable, even if her hope is in vain. But honour doesn't pay for our meals, our repairs, our passage across the sea. War is about survival. Honour has no place on this battlefield. It's a mass grave. They just don't know it yet. Between you and I, if Camwen could have paid, I'd have gladly ordered my men to stay and fight. I'm not made of stone, but being a hired sword means you can't fight every battle that inspires you. Listen here. I fight hard for my living. If folks don't compensate me justly, I make for elsewhere. If Moondown wants our help, they either pay or help us get through this pass. I've got a feeling the Alfar up ahead have work and coin to spare. If you clear out the Tuatha watchtowers between here and Shadow Pass, we can give Captain Camwen a bit more of our time. What do you say? Fine. You must know a thing or two about sacrifice to talk like that. We'll go to Moondown and we'll fight, but after this I'm through with charity. Goodbye.
Hey! Hello.
Thank you for restoring Camp Moondown and helping us repel the Tuatha. There is one last challenge ahead. I am no great leader. I can't offer the inspiration my soldiers need, but the Siegebreaker can. Speak to them, inspire them to greatness, and we just might survive. Yes, if you could speak to the troops, it would fan the fires that burn deep in their hearts. They trust you, hero. Lead them. Goodbye.
Good work out there today.
Yeah?
What?
Hello.
Yeah?
Hello. I cannot thank you enough. Be safe in your travels and remember, you will always have friends at Camp Moondown. Thank you.
Yeah?
And he was not alone. Agarth wanted me to keep an eye on Lady Shear, but you and I need to have a talk first. I've been reviewing my notes of our last trip to Alabastra, and I've come to some startling conclusions about your death and Tiernock. I don't know exactly, but it must have been a tremendously powerful source of magic. So powerful that the Well of Souls couldn't help but pick up on it. You were attuned to the well in my lab, but Hugh's well captured your essence. The power in Bale seems to have been the missing element. What's more, I think that power is the source of the Prismere crystals. Something intelligent and malignant. The creature the Tuatha called Tiernock. Something incredibly powerful. I don't know if we even have a name for what she is, because no one's lived to name it. She's not a god. She's something much, much worse. And judging by the growth of this Prismere, she's very close to coming into our world for good. Whatever Gadflow's been doing, it's all in order to bring her here. So you've got to stop him before it's too late. When you and I came to Alabastra, we were looking for the source of the Prismere's power. I never found it, but I think you did. And that's why you died. The frosted gem at the center of Alabastra. Full of Prismere. But now it's a lot more full of enemies than it was when we snuck in there. Tiernock isn't a god. No god has ever commanded that much magic directly. Whatever she is, she must be amazingly powerful. I can see why Gadflow would worship her. Imagine controlling that much raw magic. With tremendous difficulty. Even so, there weren't as many Tuatha here, and we used magic to keep us hidden. Magic which you provided, in fact. You never did explain where you got those fascinating little artifacts.
By Lyria, it was you who stood against Balor when Telera fell. Fortune favors me today. I am commander of the Ariad. Do you bring word of my reinforcements? When the Ariad chose me, I'd lost everything. My friends, my family, all consumed by war. We trained for years, preparing to take the battle to the Tuatha. Then our moment arrived. And in an instant, only I remained. Even if it means my last breath, I will see the Tuatha burn. We are called the eyes and ears of the Alfar, but the Ariad is more than that. We are the sword in the dark, the whisper of death. We serve Lyria and all her children. My men trained for years to be unleashed upon the Tuatha. Now, only I remain. I swear, before I too have fallen, winter will burn. I was a scout under Telera's command when Balor was first unleashed upon us. I witnessed with these eyes what that beast did to our people. For what you have done, friend, you'll never have to buy your own ale. Even after the Balor was unleashed, I believed in Telera. She was the great general. I thought she would, in time, return from exile with our salvation. And so she did. Oh, to have been there, at her side, when she struck the demon down.
The ash covering the ground ahead is all that remains of my men, all fallen in our assault on that pass. The Tuatha have built a gauntlet of spell-casting sentries who greeted our every advance with fire. Who says I am? Who says you are? This is Shadow Pass, youngling. Maybe we're all dead but don't know it yet. But I swear, whether I am dead or not, my spear will taste the blood of those arrogant bastards high on the rock. I will make them pay the butcher's bill for what they've done. It's just, these Tuatha wage war like none I've known. Magical fires burning my men to a cinder with a word. But if you're brave enough to challenge them, we may have a chance. They're using the terrain against us, flanking the paths from above with sorcerers. If you can neutralize these sentries, I will charge the approach myself. Together, we might be able to break their lines. The pass ahead is defended by a sorcerer on the overlook. See if you can find a path to his position and attack him from behind. If you can do this, I'll bring steel to the Tuatha line. Until later, then. Friend. It has begun, but we must press on lest the Tuatha secure the high ground. There are more sentries ahead. Each must be killed before we can advance. Well done so far. The next pass might be trickier. There are 2 sorcerers overlooking the path. Once you've felled them both, I will charge the lines myself. Until later, then.
myself a little tied up here. And is it a trick of the eye, or are these crystals growing? You should have seen Alabastra at its prime. Serene and beautiful as a sky full of stars. Strange crystal, Prismir. It's normally a shade of blue, but when you treat it and charge it with magic, it turns blood red. Just got myself tied up in some trouble with the locals. Nothing I can't handle. Honestly, I haven't had this much fun in decades. Not on your life. This old man can still take care of himself, you know? But I will take just a moment to catch my breath. Stupid old lungs. Keep going. I'll meet you at Vengeance.
With horrors, screams, and ghostly face, we leave blood in a graven place. The forest black and nighttime sky, the blood that pours forth from your eye. A feast for maggots, craven all, that eat the dying when they fall. Instead of vibrant fighting flesh that fights the barghest and the thresh, that knows the plight of Seelie Fae, you who walked the Niralim's way, and reckon fates of mortal dust, and keep an oath or break a trust. We hunger for your corpse once more, to hear your cries and anguished roar.
Excellent work. The main Tuatha encampment lies ahead. Take cover with me there, and we'll discuss the final assault. The Tuatha are consumed by madness and deserve only death. We shall give it to them. The main Tuatha encampment lies ahead. Take cover with me there, and we'll discuss the final assault. Until later, then. final Tuatha encampment is just ahead. It looks like they are led by the Witch Knight Decidin. I cannot deceive you. This will be a suicide mission, but we've come too far to turn back now. We need only kill Decidin, and Shadow Pass will be rid of the Tuatha. He has killed countless Alfar. When the Tuatha first pushed us across the sea, Decidin led the vanguard. I lost many friends that day, and I have not forgotten the one who slaughtered them. Press forward. We have shattered 2 of their lines, but their command position is still ahead. We must break them now, before they can regroup. Stay safe.
The skulls atop high fulgen shine, and coldly gleam in a precise line. For us who chew on hollowed bones, while alive we wail vapid moans. It's delight for us to feed, to feast, we the winter of the East. We the corpses in putrid bloom, we of decay and twilight gloom, will never halt our hungered wait, till spilled blood is on our plate. So come into our lands at night, and see an endless wintry sight.
That's the last of them. We've paid a heavy price, but Shadow Pass is ours. I'll make camp here until reinforcements arrive. It was an honor to fight by your side. Maybe this will help you out. Until later, then.
And he named it Prismere. It grows far beneath the Amethyst. It pierces the world, and the blood that flows from these wounds feeds Gadflow's hungry mind. These crystals, this Prismere, whispered to him promises of power, of godhood. It corrupted his nature. The seeds of a blizzard sprouted in the form of a beautiful crystal. It was a gift from her, ere we knew our doom was at hand. beats in the heart, and perfectly you play the part of hero to the summer's west, bringing Tuatha to their rest. Why do you try so hard in vain? Why bring the others senseless pain? Don't you see, mortal, don't you see the body impaled on the tree? Will you not witness their loss and feed upon the awful dross? Or walk again past corpses new, without care for the rotting few?
You must hurry. There is much to do. Gask and his forces are preparing to march. They know about the caves and will not cease until every last one of us has been slain. And there are the survivors of Eventide to consider. I have not heard a whisper from across the pass. And Esha, she plots a fool's errand. We must stop her. Much to do. An agent of Gadflow and head witch knight of Cadsamir, one whose acts define him. Little is known of him, but this is not important. His actions here are a grim enough tale. She was once of the House of Vengeance, and has always served as the guardian of Ashmore. But she is only one warrior against Gask's legions. Esha fears an attack, and wishes to lead survivors to safety through the caverns. Perhaps you can talk her out of it. She readies her people below. They did not sense the changing of the tide as I did. They had no warning. The first of Gask's soldiers occupied the pass, severing Ashmore from Eventide, ending all communication between us. We of Ashmore retreated into these caverns and know not of what fate befell Eventide since. There are many good folk there, Bareth, Nell, and even Ordo. Forgive me. Ever since the Tuatha came, omens of our destruction besiege me. My every notion is of escape and salvation. When he refused to worship Gadflow's god of smoke and ash, he thought first to kill us, but then chose a far grimmer fate. He made us his example. He sent Gask. First, Gask's priests destroyed the clans. Then he burned the bodies of the fallen and breathed in their essence, mocking the dead and the great cycle itself. One day, that is all Gask needed to unravel many seasons of the telling, to make the earth shudder and the sky weep. Now he sits above us, watching. Ashmore and Eventide stand astride the pass, the corridor leading from Bale to the wider world. When we refused to stand aside for him, he ripped his way through. Wonderful! Your attack will give us time to organize an escape. Do not underestimate Gask. He is among Gadflow's best for a reason. His camp of Cadsamir is to the north, but you must defeat his witch knights along with the Fae himself. I have faith in you. He lords over Twilight Pass from the plateau above, rarely seen, his minions executing his bloody work. Both he and they prefer it thus. Victory will be yours.
House of Vengeance enacted the whims of our mad king. The divided court became Gadflow's Tuatha by force or by rebirth. The Winter Fae dwindled before this wave of frenzied strife, and before long, they were soldiers in an immortal army, or they were outcast. The greatest of vengeance, Malwyn, Claran, Vescain among them, became his witch knights. War had come again to the Fae. But instead of by Lord only, it was Gadflow the king without a winter. O gloried stranger in our land, bringing death with the fate's own hand, filling the graves with corpses new, that feed the vultures, mortals too. Yes, they'll eat the flesh of the dead, and tear the limbs off, and the head. They only need the slightest lie to give them reason as to why their minds should be free from all guilt. And that is how your morals wilt. Continue, stranger, in our home, where demons tread and evils roam. For you are now a part of woe, blight, dusk, ruin, and living foe.
Welcome back. You're back. I was keeping an eye on you from a safe distance to see if you would keep your promise. I am amazed. I dared not speak of it, but there are prophecies of a mortal who would herald our kind's passing, while the defeat of Gask will count as a victory against the madness of Gadflow. I wonder if it is a harbinger of darker nights ahead. Prophecies aside, you have done as I asked, and we, the clan of Ashmore, recognize you. Farewell.
Agarth will not be far behind you. Neither of us saw any sign of Alan Shear or Ventrinio. A scout on the ridge above saw the Tuatha mounting for a counterattack. You should hear what he has to say before we move on. If you'd rather not wait, talk with Agarth. Time is of the essence. The Pale Country, once the peaceful home to the Winter Court. Now Gadflow squats in her heart like a rat in the flesh. My homeland will not suffer this indignity. Together, we must extract the Tuatha, even if it means the end of my people. Ale, the icy heart of my people, with bridges of woven stone and ice. It sickens me to think of what Gadflow's people have done to it. Agarth, if he tells you he's ready, then my people are as well. Of course, if you wish to proceed with caution, the scout on the ridge will know what we're up against. Careful. This is worse.
You foolish mortals, listen well to advice in this tale of atrocities that we will tell. Horror awaits the fools who fell and languish behind arcane veil. Of own they sung, but now a god proclaimed enchanting song. They worship on their earthen sod, and bow their heads and pray and nod. Another name to bear their wrong. flames of warlike engines roar and quake through heaven's path. In Gadflow's name they battle more. And then, despite the peace of yore, will murder neighbors in their wrath.
Let's drive these red-eyed bastards into the ground!
Good to see you here. Ready? I am. But there hasn't been any sign of Aelin Shear or Ventrinio. Damn it all, I knew we couldn't trust her. I sent Ventrinio to keep an eye on her. He was sending me messages until recently. But there were fewer and fewer as we've gotten closer to Baal. We need to get through the House of Vengeance and kill the Cur. And we'll have to do it without them. He's the closest thing Vengeance has to a leader anymore. A face so consumed with hatred that he's little more than a beast. If you're going to get into Baal, the Cur has to die. We'll go as far as we can. Whatever is happening in Baal needs to be stopped as quickly as possible. Listen, you're more powerful than I ever was. If anyone can stop this, it's you. When you kill the Cur, you go into Baal and stop Gadflow. If we get separated, I'll keep fighting to keep an escape route open for you. Now go! Stay on guard.
They left you helpless and without hope, among the barren plains or searching for food on mountain slope, and finding only gallows rope. And then you thank them for your pains. But Gadflow was not content to rule the Court of Winter. Mortals would bow before him as well. And so he made war on your people and drove them from the eastern lands. The Alfar fell before an avalanche of corrupted fervor. The Tuatha acted as one army and built the Prismere Chantries as new idols of their false mountain god, their Tirnoch.
Onwards! We're nearly there. Looks like this is it. That was amazing. You're twice the hero I ever was, or could have been. Our forces can't keep going from here. We're stretched too thin, and we've lost too much. Sidon and I will hold the gate for you as long as we can. But Bale is nearly deserted. Head in, face Gadflow, end this. Not at all. You just get moving and put an end to Gadflow while you can. Do that, and I predict our future involves sharing drinks and war stories around a cozy fire. Trust me, I'm a Fate Weaver.
My deepest apologies for not being able to join the battle. Ventrinia was something of a hassle. He attacked me. It was only a matter of time before his greed got the better of him. The closer we got to Bale, the more obsessed he became with Tianok, and with harnessing Tianok's power, just like Gadflow did. That's why he had to be stopped, and why we need to talk about our mission. I wasn't sure I could trust you. You're not the same person you used to be. We're running out of time. I'll explain as we go. Lead on. I'm right behind you.
The winter court was still as fallen snow as the jester danced and capered. Juggling knives and torches, he sang to his lords and ladies, but none smiled. Not an eyebrow raised as the snivelling jester imitated the king, not even when he took the crown from his head. Because this was the day that Gadflow murdered the winter court. This was the day the Tuatha were born, and our people became a sacrifice for Tiernach.
Fighting at your side, just like the old days, before you died. fulfilled for centuries. We keep the world from being consumed by greed, by war, and by Tianok. The ancient beast must stay sealed away at any cost. The world must never realize the terrible power Tianok offers.
Since the Alabaster Wall was young, the beautiful bone-white forest was a place of peace and meditation. No piercing birdsong nor heated word could find its way between the branches. Quiet thought prevailed until Gadflow shattered our land. The Tuatha's crimson axes chopped the forest for arrow shafts, and Tirnoch's Prismere spires rose up to consume what remained. Now our forest is shattered, and screams of warfare fill its boughs.
When Gadflow's army arose, we recognized Tianok's tainted influence. Only a force like her could warp eternal creatures like the Fae. So you came to infiltrate Alabastra, find Tianok, and seal her away forever. And you used Ventrinio to get in, under the guise of being his assistant.
The greatest heroes of winter have always fallen from the Vale's pale boughs, from Pietra the Keen to Hulgan the Hungry. When the Tuatha claimed dominance over us, heroes arose to defend winter. Gadflow laughed at their challenge and called up Tirnoch's wrath. In a second, our most loyal heroes were impaled by Prismere spires. Our heroes were gone, never to be reborn, and our people succumbed to Gadflow's madness.
When I found you in Dalentarth, when I saw you had come back to life, I wasn't sure how much you remembered. I couldn't be certain you would keep our secrets. I considered killing you then and there. Nothing personal. You would have done the same to me. But then I saw what you had become. I saw the new powers you wielded, and I saw how useful you could be. When I saw you could change fate, I knew you were our only
In happier times, the Winter Court would come here to bathe in the colours of the midnight gardens. Night violets and pale moonflowers blossomed on a field of bluest grass studded with frost. When stars aligned, the aurora borealis danced for the queen herself. But now the Tuatha have crushed the gardens and planted only corpses. The fruit of their tortured garden is only blood red.
As the sun is to the forest, Tirnoch is to the Fae of winter. Some embraced this new god, this break from the great cycle. Others hid in the darkest of places. Gadflow spoke of Tirnoch, and the Prismere emanated its power. It is a source of magic and hatred. It no longer slumbers beneath Amethen. The unbroken horizon of the winter is now the fiery haze of destruction.
At long last, Gadflow has crushed the Winter Fae, and his Tuatha rules us utterly. No longer are we reborn into this world, unless his god Tirnoch wills it so. This monster has crushed us.
This is not time to dawdle. You're the one who stepped forward to stop Gadflow and the source of his power, even though fate said you were doomed to fail. This time, fate cannot control you, but I expect you to succeed. Somehow Gadflow found a way to reach out to Tirnoch. Or perhaps she was able to seek out his twisted mind. She offered him power, and with it, he began the Tuatha. No wonder Gadflow thinks she's a god. Here we are, in the heart of the enemy's defenses. And this time, I trust you not to fail. Then Trinia was right. Tirnoch is no god. She has almost as much power, and is every bit as dangerous to the world as any dark god. Her powers raised Gadflow from a jester to a warlord, and in return, his army would usher in a chance for her to enter this world and consume it. Lead on. I'm right behind you. Last time you came here, you were destined to die. This time, your destiny is up to you. Now we have a chance to finally complete our mission. Let's put an end to Gadflow before his bargain frees Tirnoch on the world. This must have been a lot for you to take in at once, but I need you to be clear on who you are and what you need to do. A lot has changed since you were here last. It isn't going to be as easy this time. And last time it killed you. Oh, she's a creature with incredible power. A dragon. But she is no simple lizard in some child's tale. She has a power rivaled only by the gods. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Alpha sealed her in the Amethyst between this world and the world of magic. And there she went mad. As her prison weakened over time, she was able to tempt Gadflow into helping her gain enough power to break free. And if she escapes fully, it will mean the end of all mortal life. Tiernok's revenge for tens of thousands of years of imprisonment. That's why people like you and I have dedicated our lives to keeping Tiernok's secret from the world. We were supposed to keep Tiernok hidden from the world. Anyone who learned too much had to die. But when Gadflow found her, you were the one who volunteered to kill him and seal Tiernok away once more, even though you were fated to fail. It took every trick we had to get you here the first time, and you still died. I don't know if you plan to be resurrected, but knowing you, I wouldn't be surprised. Everyone who knows the truth of Tiernok will be dead, and Tiernok will be sealed away once again. We can return to our duty of keeping the knowledge secret, assuming that's the life you want to return to. But if you refuse, then I'd have to make sure you never tell the truth about Tiernok. Of course, I'd rather it didn't come to that. But you would have done the same. Huh. I have more important things to do than love. And so do you. But I do trust you with the fate of my world. It may not set your heart aflutter to hear it, but it'll have to do. Lead on. I'm right behind you.
You don't understand, do you? The power... Yes! Return to your... Tiernok, lend me your power! Lend me your power! Crumble, child of dust! Tiernok, lend me your power!
Something's not right. If Gadflow isn't here, then he must be hiding further underground. Someplace closer to the source of the Prismere. Definitely. The war's not over yet. Whatever bargain Gadflow made with Tiernok, it's about to pay off. When that happens, the world will not be spared her wrath. In the heart of Alabastra is the former unseelie city of Baal. Beneath the Winter King's court, there is the Cave of Amethin. It's a place of tremendous power. It is where Tiernok is imprisoned, and where you died. We were two of the people who were supposed to keep Tiernok hidden from the world. Anyone who learned too much had to die. But when Gadflow found her, you were the one who volunteered to kill him and seal Tiernok away once more, even though you were fated to fail. It took every trick we had to get you here the first time, and you still died. I don't know if you plan to be resurrected, but knowing you, I wouldn't be surprised. She's imprisoned deep in the Amethin, but Gadflow's war has weakened her bonds. There's no time to spare. If she gets free, our world is lost. Let's go. Tiernok is held captive deep in the Amethin, but her prison is weakening by the moment.
I feel you here again, full of life, full of fate. What have you brought?
I can feel Tiernok's eyes upon us.
You've used your power well. So much potential. Let's have a taste, shall we?
She just tore out a part of the fates you've stolen and turned it against you. Perhaps it is not inaccurate to think of her as a god.
Imprisoned here since before your kind emerged from the dark. But now, my freedom draws near.
We cannot let Gadflow free Tiernok.
Godflow's prayers weakened this prison, but he is not the one who will set you free.
Don't listen. You're the only one who has the power to stop her.
When you first came to me, death was your only fate, but I made enemies. And you were so eager to play your role.
You chose this? What does she mean by that?
I gave you freedom, and now you have returned to grant me mine.
Only you have the power to reseal Tirnoch inside the Amathen. I must keep the secret of her existence from the world. Once Tirnoch is pushed back into her prison, these caverns must be sealed. But that leaves one question. Can I trust you to keep Tirnoch's secret? That is excellent. After all that you've done, it would have been a shame for you to die a second time. If you do escape, I will be watching you. And know this, anyone who learns the truth of what happens here, I will silence myself. Go. Stop Tirnoch from fully entering this world. But remember, my blades will always be at your back. Tirnoch's power is immense. She just tore off a splinter of what you could have been and turned it against you. When she killed you, that much power must have torn you free of the entire tapestry of fate. Nothing in the world is fated to stop Tirnoch. That's why you're the only one who has a chance. I'm just here to make sure you take it. This way. There's no turning back now.
Come, Fade Weaver, bring me your power. Sacrifice yourself and seal the fate of your world.
It's time to choose your fate. Amethyst lies beyond. This is where the dragon will breach the veil.
Come forward, mortals. Behold the birth of Tirnoch. Attend your final hour.
My fate does not lie beyond those doors. You alone may change what is to come. Go!
Ah, yes. Welcome back, mortal. How does it feel, I wonder, to return to this place? Does the pain of your death still linger? Can you feel it echo through the air? And now, in this place, you shall witness the birth of Tirnoch, the destruction of the Alpha, and the dawn of the endless winter. She comes. Tirnoch the powerful. Tirnoch the merciful. Qualla fella Tirnoch. Qualla sera Tirnoch. Tirnoch? Have I done well, lady? Are you pleased? Is it... did I...
You have served your purpose.
But
And now, fateless one, you shall serve yours. Come closer. Give yourself to me. Do you think you can save yourself, little creature? shall crumble and fall before me. You are nothing but dust. Why won't you die? Impossible! Impossible!
How could we have known that this would be a new beginning? I wonder now if we should have foreseen this outcome, but who knew then what fate would bring? I would have liked to have delivered this message in person, to see you one final time. That, however, would have been complicated. The order to which I belong had other plans. Were you ever to leave the crystalline fortress? When it comes to you, though, it seems no fate is written in stone. It was only through my assurances that your silence could be counted upon, that either one of us still draws breath. I trust you will not make of me a liar. Were stories of what we have seen to begin to surface in the inns and taverns of Amalur, I would be asked to seek you out. And as we both know, the next time you die, there will be no return. But let us not speak of this. Your life is your own. Go now, and see what fate may bring you, or what fate you may bring. Perhaps one day in happier times, you and I will meet again. Until that day, I remain. Yours, Aelin Sher.
Well, well, awake at last. You gave us quite a scare. But you're here and the war's all but over. So who are we to complain? I was hoping you could tell us. Sidon and I were fighting a few remaining stragglers when all of a sudden they started this unholy wailing. I guess you must have killed Gadflow, because the Tuatha started screaming and ran away. There are still a few diehards, but they don't have the fire in them, you know? Wasn't much longer before Aelin showed up carrying you over her shoulder. Told me to watch over you, make sure you were okay. She left some kind of note for you, but I know better than to read a private message from the likes of her. There are still Tuatha who refuse to surrender, but yes, the war is ended. You should have seen the parade in Rathir. As for what's next, well, that's a tough question. See, a lot of the soldiers asked me for readings after the fighting ended, and try as I might, I can't see a fate for any of us. Good? Perhaps. Freedom is a blessing, and a curse. If fate truly no longer holds sway over us, only time will tell if it is for good or ill. But regardless of what happens, Amalur and its people remain because of you. And no matter where your path leads, never forget, a person is defined by his actions. Who you are is up to you, and you alone. Go, my friend. Enjoy this world and all of its splendors. You've earned it. Anything for you. I've been a lot of things in my life. A hero and a heartbreaker. A fate weaver and a failure. All at the cruel hands of fate. Until you came along, I never had a choice in what I was. Thank you for that. First she works with us, then she betrays us, then she saves your life. I admit I don't know what to make of that woman, but I feel like we owe her. Not that I'd know how to find her, or pay her back for that matter. I've heard legends about it, but supposedly it's a deep cave beneath Bale, either for the Winter King's meditation, or where they emerge after they die. Last I saw him, Sidon was mourning at the House of Sorrows. I can't imagine what his people are going through. If you see him, give him my regards. The Winter Fae were a decent people. They didn't deserve what Gadflow did to them. Well, ever since you came back from Alabastra, I cannot read a place in the Weave for anyone. Whatever you did, it didn't just win the war. It's given us all a chance to make our own destinies. Whatever you did to him, Gadflow is truly dead and gone. Sidon says he won't be reborn, although I don't know how he can be so sure. Doesn't look like there was much of the House of Pride left to save, and I can't imagine they were happy about a mortal doing the saving either. The Fae in the House of Vengeance are, bar none, the fiercest, strongest, most downright unstoppable creatures in the land. Not that they have a lot to be vengeful about. After all, Gadflow was the one who started the damned war. There are still plenty of Tuatha, but without Gadflow to give them the word of Tirnoch, they've gone mad. So the gnarled madman didn't make it out of Alabastra? I can't say I'm choked up over the loss. You've all but ended the war, and you've surely changed its destiny. Every mortal in the Feylands owes you thanks. Sure, there are still Tuatha left here and there, but they've got no leader, and they don't pose half the threat they used to.
morning, sir. Good to see you up and out of your quarters. This here is the lower hall of the Orbicant. The Council has granted this rare honor in light of all you've done for us, for all of Alfar kind. They have also allowed me to offer you access to the Reserve Armory, if you would care to have a look. Ah, yes, it was she who brought you here, you know. Stood by your bed for almost a day, then left suddenly on urgent business. But that has always been her way. I can't show you the upper halls or the council chambers, I'm afraid. But you are welcome here in the lower hall, and it is my special pleasure to offer you access to the Reserve Armory. Rare weapons and so forth, procured for Rathir's leaders and defenders. They must still, be paid for, I'm afraid. But please, have a look for yourself. The quarters you slept in where you recovered were once assigned to the late General Talera. They are yours now, should you ever wish to use them. I do hope your stay has been restorative. I don't believe my eyes.